Her just accidentally stepped on a cockroach. But her boyfriend hated her for 3 whole days because they were participating in an escape room challenge. If they stayed in this closed room for 50 days, they would win a reward of $5 million. And that cockroach was the only emotional anchor for her boyfriend, but it was accidentally killed by her foot. It turns out that staying in the room for 50 days sounds simple, but there are many restrictions, and it's full of tests on human nature. There is only a double bed and a bathroom in the room. The food is provided by the organizers, but it's just tasteless, colorless, nutritional water. The cruelest part is, if one of them breaks down first, even if the other person holds on until the end, they can only win $1 million. Most people might think this challenge is easy, but only when you live there do you realize how terrifying it is. As soon as they pressed the button to start the challenge and saw the 50-day countdown, they suddenly realized something was wrong. There were no phones, no internet. How would they survive the next 50 days? Her boyfriend thought her question was a bit unnecessary. He said that if they just focused on the money, they'd win. They wouldn't think about playing with phones or watching TV. Hearing that, she felt that 50 days might not be that hard, but they seriously underestimated the difficulty of the challenge. Soon, her boyfriend couldn't take it anymore. Everything in the room was white. The monotonous colors made him feel suffocated. Time seemed to be in slow motion. He stared at the countdown for half an hour, and only 2 minutes had passed. To ease the suffocating feeling, they played some children's games just to kill time. But even then, time passed unbearably slowly. When only 23 days were left on the countdown, both of them were on the verge of breaking down. Staring at the countdown every day had become their only routine, until one day, a cockroach crawled into the room, and her boyfriend finally found a bit of joy. But just as he turned around, she accidentally stepped on the cockroach. Mike was so mad that he didn't talk to her for 3 whole days, until one day, he couldn't take it anymore and asked her one question.
I'm gonna take a treat.
It turned out there was an extra rule in this escape room challenge. Each person had 2 chances to deduct prize money for entertainment. The first time would cost $100,000, and the second time would cost $1 million. Although Kate didn't want to, she finally gave in to Mike's pleading. So Mike spent $100,000 on a paintbrush, and surprisingly, this made him incredibly happy, because Mike had always dreamed of being a painter. With the paintbrush, he could start painting on the walls of the room. He poured out a month's worth of frustration onto the walls. Seeing her boyfriend finally act like a child after 30 days, Kate finally understood. Money is important, but their relationship was more important. From then on, they decided to encourage each other in the room. But the organizers didn't want to see that. The next day, something terrible happened. A gun loaded with bullets suddenly appeared in the bathroom. They froze in place, terrified. Although they didn't know how the gun got there, they knew that the organizers wanted them to kill each other. To prevent any accidents, they quickly kicked the gun under the bed, thinking the danger was over. The organizers weren't done yet. They then called each of them for a video chat. First, Mike received a call from his ex-girlfriend. Seeing Mike so excited to see his ex, Kate's face turned black with anger. But the organizers weren't done yet. Next, they called Kate's father. When Kate saw her father, her emotions exploded. It turned out that her father had abandoned her and her mother when she was young. She never wanted to see him again. Clearly, the organizers aimed to attack their most vulnerable spots. After that, Kate became much more silent. With only 19 days left in the challenge, she just wanted to quietly wait for the time to pass. At this point, Mike's patience reached its limit. He said he had to try the entertainment option again. Even if it cost him $1 million, he didn't care. Seeing Mike lose interest in life, Kate couldn't take it anymore and agreed to his request. But Mike never expected that this time, the entertainment option would introduce a long-haired beauty.